a 2-week, 200+ mile hike through the Ozark Mountains in my home state of Arkansas. Sign me up. This is the Ozark Highlands Trail.
Finally!
Today is March 30th, 2024, and good morning from Lake Fort Smith State Park in the western terminus of the Ozark Highlands Trail. Feels good to be back white blazing on the OHT. I've been planning this hike since I was on the Ouachita Trail last year, so this is happening. Pack is feeling nice and light, starting off here with 3.5 days of food and a liter of water, and I'm right at 22 pounds, so pretty happy about that. Shout out to my wife for dropping me off this morning. Yesterday we had an adventure through the Ozarks and dropped off a few food caches, one at the Ben-Hur trailhead, one at Lick Branch. We made our way into Fayetteville for dinner, and I found a Airbnb called the Bigfoot Hideout on Old 71, Highway 71, and it's only 4.4 miles from Lake Fort Smith State Park here, so only an 8-minute drive. Talking to the host this morning over coffee, he said that he'd be willing to shuttle anyone to the start of the trail if they stayed with him. So look up Shaw at the Bigfoot Hideout on Highway 71. I think it'd be the perfect place to stage up for either a section hike or a through hike of the OHT. Got about a 5-mile hike here around the lake, and the first major creek crossing in about 3 miles, Frog Bayou Creek. We've had a lot of rain. We always do in the spring. They got about 3.5 inches up here on Monday, but it's been relatively dry since, so everything should have dropped down safely. But there will be water everywhere. Waterfalls will be rolling. It should be straight magic. I'm so pumped. The weather for the first leg of this hike is looking pretty good. Only one chance of rain, and that's going to be Monday night into early Tuesday morning. Maybe a chance of severe weather. But that's the only chance of rain in the first 8 or 9 days I see in the forecast. Can't beat it. Also, the first 3 days here look to be a little warm, in the mid 70s, lows in the upper 50s, low 60s. And then that cold front on Monday night is going to drop everything back to what I think is perfect hiking weather, with highs in the 60s and lows in the low 40s, upper 30s. Safely across Frog Bayou Creek. That's the first of many creek crossings on the Ozark Highlands Trail. So where does the OHT end, and where do I plan to end my through hike? Well, I guess it's up for debate, and it's a little confusing if you're not familiar with the OHT. The original route, the OG OHT, if you will, is a 165 miles from Lake Fort Smith to the Woolham Ford at the Buffalo River. They've since added some extensions from there. The plan is to eventually take it 320 miles up to the Missouri border and meet up with the Ozark Trail and take it to St. Louis, around 700 miles total. And they're going to call that the Trans-Ozark Trail. So at the Woolham Ford at the Buffalo River, you can cross Richland Creek and hop on a 43-mile section, what they call the Buffalo River Trail, BRT/OHT. And it's running a continuous trail to Highway 14 and Dillard's Ferry. From there, there's about a 18 mile bushwhack through the lower Buffalo wilderness area where there is not established trail. There has been routes established, but it is a bushwhack. From there, it's going to pick back up at Spring Creek trailhead and run about 31 miles of what they call the Sillamore section of the OHT, and it ends at Matney's Knob. From there, it's going to work its way on the east side of North Fork Lake on its way to the Missouri border. I think the consensus is of what qualifies as a through hike of the OHT. I think most people, including myself, would say that Lake Fort Smith to Woolham would be a through hike of the OHT. I think the Ozark Highlands Trail Association would agree with that. So where do I plan on ending my hike? Well, my goal is Woolham. It's just 165 miles. My plan is to hike all continuous trail all the way to Highway 14 and Dillard's Ferry for a total of 207.6. That's the plan. No FKT attempt here. Much like the Ouachita, I'm in no hurry. Planning 14 to 15 days. I have 16 if I need them. I do have the luxury of knowing this trail pretty well. I section hiked it 4 years ago all the way to Tyler Bend, so about 175 miles. So I know where I want to spend some time, and I know where I can just blow through and, you know, knock out 3 miles an hour. No real plan today. When I section hiked it, I made a campsite around mile 15. See how I'm feeling when I get there. May push on to White Rock Mountain. Dogwoods are popping. Doesn't look like it's showing up well on the camera, but one of my favorite trees. Absolutely gorgeous. Good to meet you, brother. Stay safe. This is Hurricane Creek. Leaving Hurricane Creek at mile marker 10. Starting the climb up the White Rock Mountain. First big climb of the OHC. For me, eastbound. It's around 1,200 foot or so. Here's a nice look at White Rock Mountain. I'll be up there in the morning unless I can't find a campsite between here and there.